Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right now, this month's most unexciting buff, the buff that nobody really believed will change much, is live, and that's Ronin himself. Now the thing is, Ronin got very minor value update. However, there is one fairly significant thing that's changed about him. However, there's also a critical oversight problem with that change, in my opinion. However, his numbers still should be better. Right, so as always, we're going to be taking a look at Ronin with and without synergy teams, pre and post buff, and this video primarily focuses on damage and not much else. So this is pre-buff, rank 4, 5-star, SIG 160 Ronin. And we probably are familiar with his base mechanics. I do make a mistake here at the beginning of the fight, but hey, the base idea is that you do medium and then varied length combos and dash backwards, thus entering different stances. It's kind of similar to Shang-Chi in a sense, but instead of dropping a medium light medium, you do medium light dash back or medium light dash back, and then you activate different effects, enter stances, gain cruelties, and it's a lot more shit than Shang-Chi in general, so there is that. But Ronin has always had one of the more entertaining playstyles. The entire point or the rotation of the character is get to 7 charges, get a precision passive, start critting quite a lot, and then drop either level 3 for a massive fury or level 2 for a ton of bleeds. That's about it. Now there are other things he obviously does. Plenty of bleeds, he can parry projectiles in one stance and has increased perfect block chance, thus increased parry stun duration. Then he can reduce opponent's ability accuracy and a few other things, and shrug off debuffs entering guard stance. But overall, he really doesn't do anything great. He does things alright. So he's kind of, and I frequently keep using that phrase in terms of Ronin, jack of all trades, master of none, but his damage was always relatively solid, and I think we can see that here, that we have several bleeds active, absolutely no problem there. I'm gonna go for another level 3, because why not? We have 72 hits in the fight with a 5-star rank 4. Again, I am running Liquid Courage and Double Edge, just my standard setup, and max deep wounds, because that's what I always run. And here we have a relatively chunky 23k level 3. We had a couple of Furies active for just a moment. If you are more aggressive, then you have higher uptime of 2 Furies, which obviously increase the damage even further. But we're doing a relatively decent, cautious job, not getting hit for most part, and you know, still building up our cruelties and inflicting bleeds and doing all that other good stuff. So I have done 2 level 3s in this fight, and now I'm gonna go for a level 2. So we can have a 7k crit and like 11k crit, and now we have 12 bleeds that are ticking fair amount, but that's not going to be quite enough. There's actually like 15 bleeds. Jeepers, that's quite a lot of bleeds. That is quite a lot of bleeds there. But anyways, Winter Soldier is at last 10%, so we're going to finish off that fight. And here we go, the fight is over at 137 hits with no synergy team, and duration was just over 3 minutes, so it's not a bad showing at all. There are a lot of champions who take double that time pretty much, like 5 minutes plus. Now we're gonna go back in with synergy team, with like Black Widow Deadly Origins, with Captain Marvel movie, and a few other Falcon and a few other champions that just in general kind of like boost his stat, gives him a fury buff whenever he changes stances with Moon Knight, increase his bleed duration, and just kind of like not absolutely must-have synergies, just buffing up his damage somewhat. And that is the expectation. With the synergy team, obviously, we are hoping to finish off the fight quicker, because we have that fury active, the bleeds last longer, and we're hitting harder. We're going for pretty much the same strategy there. We're going for level 3. Let's see what amount this special 3 does. That level 3 does look quite cool, but it just breaks laws of physics, I think, definitely. But hey, it looks cool. Right, so emo Hawkeye here is like putting in work. 39 hits. Winter Soldier's bleeding quite crazily. I'm starting to rebuild my cruelties, And, you know, everything is looking fine. Let's just fast forward a bit. I'm going to go for a level 2 here. And that bleed's doing even more damage. I think I'm going to go for another level 2 instead of level 3. Yep, here we go. So, drop that level 2. Great stuff. Plenty of crits. He has like 16 bleeds. And what is an amount of hits here? Another level? Yeah, another level 2. Why not? 117. So we went from 117. This fight was... One sec. This one, 137. So not too major of an improvement. Previously, for example, Diablo got actually like 40 hit decrease. And this poor sword just got 20 hit decrease. So the synergies aren't definitely essential or even all that needed, truth be told. But let's go now post buff. And he works pretty much exactly the same. The only mechanical change in him pretty much has been the fact that if you do trigger the signature ability and evade off it, then you consume only 3 cruelties. But here is problem number 1. You still need to have 7 cruelties for it to activate. In my head, it didn't register, and I thought that as long as you have 3 cruelties, you will be able to evade, and that would be way, way, way more powerful. Now, it will not activate if you have less than 7 cruelties, and that is a quite big downside. That means you need to completely finish the ramp up in order to benefit from it, and if you are like, let's say at 6 cruelties, then you're just gonna get hit in the face. Now there, I purposely pushed him to level 2, evaded all of it, which is actually kind of cool ability to evade undexable special attacks. I do like that aspect of it. And I got a whole bunch of these smaller furies. So it will be viable to kind of use them. Except every single mechanic works kind of like completely consuming your cruelties. Let's say if you want to trigger this evade, but then what? Because when you drop level 2, you consume all your cruelties to inflict bleeds. When you drop level 3, you consume all cruelties to inflict, to gain fury buff. And as I was playing, I didn't really have like any convenient proper moments. I basically had to decide whether I want to trigger the signature ability and the evade there, and whether I want to rely on it, or I want to use my level 2s and level 3s. So I think that's kind of like a critical oversight mechanic, especially given the fact that you cannot gain that evade unless you have 7 cruelties. So I don't know, I'm, I guess, slightly disappointed because it just doesn't seem to flow together, given that every single ability takes away those cruelties, given that evade does not trigger until you have the max amount of cruelty buffs active. It just creates kind of like a feel where you're playing even worse version of Mysterio, where you have to choose which piece of utility you want, or which piece of, I don't know, damage delivering method you want, and the rest of them suffer. So that was the time when I realized that you can't trigger the evade unless you have 7. So we can see that here I have 3 cruelties. I'm leaving myself open on purpose, but the evade doesn't trigger because it's apparently going to trigger only if you have 7 cruelties active, even though it consumes only 3. But still, damage-wise, we went from 100 and what was it, 35 to 113. So that's a fairly solid increase. And now we're going to take a look at Ronin post buff with a full-on synergy team. And obviously now we should be hitting even harder. So the game mechanics are going to be pretty much exactly the same. I don't want to show you the full-on fight, but I'm going to also trigger that evade once. We're going to see right about here that I'm getting a whole bunch, 7 of those signature furies, but they don't let me hit all that hard, to be honest. They didn't seem to do all that much. Yeah. Don't know. They didn't seem to be overly helpful. You can see that, yeah, it kind of is what it is, I suppose. Right, anyways. So at this point, I'm getting to my level 3. And then we're going to drop level 3 with like the Fury, Precision Active, and everything else. Wonderful. Oh wait, here I decided to trigger those Furies one more time, because it's kind of cool, I suppose. I'm gonna rebuild quickly the 7 cruelties, and then I'm gonna go for my level 3, because why not? Let's see how strong this level 3 hits. We are definitely doing noticeably more damage, I would say. And we're gonna probably break down sub 100 hits in this fight by the looks of it. So this was like 25k, cool. And now we're still, you know, we're hitting hard-ish, but there has not been a drastic damage change. And yeah, I don't know. This buff, at the moment, as I play it, I don't think it will change anything at all. I think it will be more or less just like Nova buff, where people forget that he actually got buffed in a month or two. Anyways, right, so here we go. Nice level 2, couple of decent crits. He bleeds a lot. I'm at like, what, 80 hits there. Those bleeds are taking decent amount, but they're expiring quicker, obviously, than they did before, because they're twice as potent, but half as long. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much all she wrote. 95 hits. 95 hits. So with the synergy team previously from like 115. So again, it is a step up. It's definitely noticeable, somewhat noticeable increase. But it isn't enough, in my opinion. I mean, the people who liked Ronin are gonna like him more now. And the people who didn't like Ronin before are not gonna stop and give him a second look. Or there is, should I say, there is no real reason to do so. Anyways, that is how Ronin has changed. Let me know what do you guys think, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon in Bishop's video. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information